eyelashes, one cheek pulled up in a half-smile. "Things happened before I was born?" "Well, nothing really important." She took a deep breath, gripped the sides of the bench, and put all her effort into straightening the lever action of 30 pounds at her legs. Slowly, the weights lifted to the limit of the movement and then, just as slowly, dropped back. After a moment, she caught her breath. "Marine inspector, right?" I nodded. "Yep." "Why Marines?" "It was Vietnam, and I was going to be drafted, so it was a choice." I was consistently amazed at what her damaged brain chose to remember. "What was Vietnam like?" "Confusing, but I got to meet Martha Ray." Unsatisfied with my response, she continued to study my scar. "You don't have any tattoos?" "No." I sighed, just to let her know that her tactics weren't working. "I have a tattoo." "You have two." I cleared my throat in an attempt to end the conversation. She pulled up the cap sleeve of her Philadelphia City Sports T-shirt, exposing the faded Cheyenne turtle totem on her shoulder. She was probably unaware that she'd been having treatments to have it removed. It had been the ex-boyfriend's idea, all before the accident. "The other one's on your butt, but we don't have to look for it now." The kid snickered again. I turned and stared at him with a little more emphasis this time. "Bear was in Vietnam with you, right?" She was smiling as I turned back to her. All the women in my life smiled when they talked about Henry Standing Bear. It was a bit annoying, but Henry was my best and lifelong friend, so I got over it. He owned the Red Pony, a bar on the edge of the Northern Cheyenne Reservation, only a mile from my cabin, and he was the one who was taking Katie to dinner. I wasn't invited. He and my daughter were in cahoots. They had pretty much been in cahoots since she'd been born. Henry was in country, Special Operations Group. We didn't serve together. What was he like back then? I thought about it. He's mellowed, a little. It was a frightening thought. "Two more?" Her gray eyes flashed. "One more." I smiled. "One more." Katie's slender hands returned to the sides of the bench, and I watched as the toned legs once again levitated and lowered the 30 pounds. I waited a moment, then lumbered up and placed a kiss at the horseshoe-shaped scar and helped her stand. The physical progress was moving ahead swimmingly, mostly due to the advantages of her stellar conditioning and youth. But the afternoon workouts took their toll, and she was usually a little unsteady by the time we finished. I held her hand and picked up her water, and tried not to concentrate on the fact that my daughter had been a fast-track, hotshot lawyer back in Philly only 2 months earlier, and that now she was here in Wyoming and was trying to remember that she had tattoos, and how to walk without assistance. We made our way toward the stairwell and the downstairs showers. As we passed the kid at the machine, he looked at Katie admiringly and then at me. "Hey, Sheriff?" I paused for a moment and steadied Katie on my arm. "Yep." "JP said you once bench-pressed 6 plates. I continued looking down at him. "What?" He gestured toward the steel plates on the rack at the wall. "Jerry Pilch? The football coach, he said senior year, before you went to USC, you bench-pressed 6 plates. He continued to stare at me. "That's over 300 pounds. "Yep. Well," I winked. "Jerry's always had a tendency to exaggerate." "I thought so." I nodded to the kid and helped Katie down the steps. It had been 8 plates, actually, but that had been a long time ago. My shower was less complicated than Katie's, so I usually got out before her and waited on the bench beside the Clear Creek Bridge. I placed my summer-wear palm-leaf hat on my head, slipped on my 10-year-old Ray-Bans, and shrugged the workout bag strap farther onto my shoulder so that it didn't press my Absaroka County Sheriff's star into my chest. I pushed open the glass door and stepped into the perfect fading glory of a High Plains summer afternoon. It was vacation season, creeping up on rodeo weekend, and the streets are full of people from somewhere else. I took a